Minecraft Science. Damage protection. The Minecraft world has many dangerous things that can cause damage to the player, such as monsters, arrows, and falling, and those dreaded creeper explosions. To protect us as the players from harm, armor has been made, which reduces the amount of damage we get. And to increase the effectiveness of it, they added enchanting. But with so many types of enchantment, such as protection, fire protection, blast protection, projectile protection, and feather falling, as well as just having normal armor, one can wonder, how effective are all of these? That's what I'm here to find out. Today, I will test 7 different kinds of damage, ways you can get damage, from a TNT explosion, a fire, falling, an arrow, an ender pearl, a zombie, and getting suffocated. And each of them I shall test all the many different kinds of ways to protect yourself. As a control, I shall use no armor. Then I shall use no armor plus blocking with a sword. Then I shall wear normal armor, armor enchanted with protection, then armor enchanted with fire protection, then blast protection, then projectile protection, and then armor with boots enchanted with feather falling. And when I find out those results, I shall put them up here on this board. Over here are my tests. And here we are. These tests will all be, for consistency, will all be performed with diamond tools, and the enchantments will all be level 4. My difficulty is on normal, and my hunger is below the point of auto regeneration. For this test, I shall stand here and get blasted with TNT. And here we go. This will not be pleasant. And there I have. I've taken 7 hearts of damage. Time for TNT with blocking with my sword. This probably isn't going to be pleasant either. And I have halved the damage to only 3.5 hearts. Means that if you're about to get blasted by a creeper, you can block with your sword if you don't have time to get out of the way. Okay, and now it's time for normal armor with no enchantments. Let's see how all that works. And I took only 1 heart of damage. Now for armor with protection enchantment, level 4. After I reset this. And yeah, for all I know, I could receive no damage whatsoever. I've taken half a heart. Time for fire protection. Activate the TNT. And it's going laggy, but oh well. Took 2 hearts of damage that time. Now that could be because I was standing in a slightly different position. Time for projectile protection. And explode. And I took 1 heart of damage. Time to test blast protection, which should give me total protection, or something of the like. And no, I get 1 heart of damage. This could easily be explained. I don't know what. Such variation could easily be explained by the fact that I'm taking only a small amount of damage in the first place, so my different position in standing, even minute changes in position, can have a large effect. Now, detonate with feather falling. And can I take a neat 1 heart of damage? And this is my next test. I'm back to no armor. I've repaired all my armor to its original condition. So now, what I'm doing this test is I walk through the fire. And look, a bunch of skeletons just spawned in the group. What I do is walk through the fire. That skeleton's looking at me. I don't like the way it's looking at me. But whatever. Through the fire! And let's make sure I don't get attacked by external forces, because that would skew the results. Okay. So there we go. I have taken 5 hearts of damage from the fire test. Next test is walking through, blocking with a sword. This is going to be a tricky one, since blocking with the swords makes me go slower. However, here we go. Right, so that's 5 hearts of damage as well. So that had no difference. Time to see if armor can do anything to fire damage. Armor in fire test. I took only 4 hearts of damage, which means, and my armor took damage, which means that it did something. Time to try armor with the protection enchantment. See how much more that protects me. I want protection enchantment and fire test. And that did virtually nothing. Incredible. And let's try fire protection now. Well, I'm expecting big things. And through we go. Again, just 1 heart of damage. Time to test projectile protection. And through we go. And it behaved just like normal diamond armor, as you would expect. Now, it's time to test blast protection, which, if my thinking is right should behave exactly the same. Let's go. Let's see what that results in. Only 3.5 hearts. That's interesting, but only a small difference. Final test. Feather falling. Let's see what this does. And it behaves just like normal diamond armor. And time to begin the fall damage test. Falling away. What I do is I climb up here to the very top, and then I just step off. And without armor, I took 3.5 hearts of damage. And that's a 10 block fall there. Time for the next test. The blocking. Off I go. And sword blocking has no effect on fall damage. I believe I recall they took that out. Okay, time to see what effect normal armor has on fall damage. So, away I go. See if armor has any effect. And no, armor has no effect. 3.5 hearts damage again. Let's see if the protection enchantment does anything. It should. It says on the box that, or on the wiki, that protection enchantment protects against virtually everything. Let's hope they're right. And they are. Only half a heart of damage. Incredible. Of course, for consistency, I've got to test all the armor. Look, it didn't even get damaged. Maybe it's because armor isn't programmed to get damage from falling. So, the protection enchantment armor didn't get damaged because it's not used to it. And yeah, so was it fire protection? Yeah, it acted as before like normal armor. Okay, now up to test projectile protection. This is probably getting really boring. I'll probably, cut it. I should probably cut it. So projectile protection is exactly the same as before, 3.5 hearts of damage. Now, I should definitely cut this, because it's almost 20 minutes long now, and I'm only halfway through. Glass protection, full damage. Here we go. Again, 3.5 hearts. Not much variation there. Finally, we've got feather falling, which should, drastically reduce everything. And down we go. And yep, it's reduced it to a meager 1.5 hearts. And there's the full damage test. My armor has taken no damage. Interesting. Now, time for the arrow damage test. What I do is I step on that pressure plate and I get shot by an arrow. It's quite simple. So, arrow damage test. Here we go. No armor. It does 1.5 hearts. While blocking with a sword. Does only 1 heart. And time for normal armor arrow test. That's half a heart of damage. This is going to show up practically nothing on the... I wonder if it's going to show up as anything here. Well, it probably will, since half a heart's like minimum. And nope, it showed up as nothing. It's that effective. So, high level protection enchantment on diamond armor means very good protection. So, fire protection. 0 as well. That's interesting. And now time for projectile protection. Which is again 0. We can hardly tell anything. So yeah, time for blast protection versus arrow. Probably given all of these such high level equipment, half a heart. It is probably all such high level equipment that I can hardly notice that you can hardly notice any difference. And time for feather falling. And 0. Now, if I'm correct, it's time for the Ender Pearl test. In theory, this should have similar results to the full damage, except 1 heart less. Here we go, Ender Pearl, no armor. Let's go. And, of course, I took 2.5 hearts of damage. Ender Pearl with sword block. Again, 2.5 hearts. Time for Ender Pearl plus normal armor. And here we go. 2.5 hearts again. Okay, time for Ender Pearl versus protection armor. Half a heart. Of course, this counts as full damage. It has no damage to the armor. So yeah, time for Ender Pearl versus fire protection. 2.5 hearts. Time for Ender Pearl versus projectile protection. This is insanely dull. I'm gonna have to cut it a lot. So yeah, that would be 2.5 hearts of damage. Again. Now it's time for blast protection versus Ender Pearl. 2.5 hearts. Time for the final one. Feather falling, which should actually have varying results. Perhaps, maybe minimizing it to just half a heart. Oh, that's that test. Time for the mob test. The one where I get attacked by a zombie. What I do is I press this button and it spawns a zombie. It's pretty simple, really. And now it is time to test it. Here we have a zombie. Okay, so that does 2 hearts of damage. Now it's time for doing it with sword block. And of course it halves the damage. Time to test it against a full armor set. Does only 1 half of a heart. Armor with protection. So protection armor. It's so effective that I get no damage at all. This fire protection. So, yeah. Here we go. Ah, I got it twice. So 1 divided by 2 is half. Versus projectile protection. Again, 1/2 a heart. I'm gonna have to trim this a lot. The blast protection. Blast protection. And I got no damage at all from that, for some reason.
Woohoo! No damage! Why do you need these potions?
Okay, now, time to have now feather falling. Time for final zombie test, and again, half a heart. All of those, and time to move on to the final test. Suffocation damage. So what will happen here is I'll stand in the middle, and I'll press this button, and I'll get crushed for about a second.
Crash!
So yeah, here we are with, normal, no armor. Took 1 heart of damage from that. Retried that. Nope, that did nothing. Sword block did nothing, just 1 heart.
Fine.
So here we are, just normal armor.
Right now, diamonds.
And again, just nothing. 1 heart.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. So it appears that armor is not designed to protect against suffocation, as the armor took no damage.
But wanted a damage for protection.
Yes,
Protection armor.
Yes, protection armor test.
Go. Have a heart. What a result.
So, here we have fire damage.
Fire damage. Dun, dun, dun.
Not going to do anything different, but I've got to do it anyway for science.
Science.
There's going to be some serious editing going on.
Nope.
So, projectile protection, armor, here we go. And
1 heart.
again,
The sun.
blast protection.
Protection. Omatic. Of shininess.
Heal.
From Ponyland.
Let's well, so I've got, so that did 1 heart of damage again. I've got just one last test.
One last test.
Final test.
Final test. Feather falling.
Yes.
That's nothing.
And same results as before. 1 heart.
1 heart.
And here we are back at the results. And these are the results. I found that blocking is effective in explosions, in arrows, and in monsters, but not effective in natural things such as fire, falling, ender pearls, which count as falling, and suffocation. So don't bother blocking when you're falling, burning up, or suffocating. Armor is normal armor is protective against everything but falling, ender pearls, and suffocation. Protection reduces the damage on everything. It is the most useful enchantment.
Yeah.
The rest, well, let's see, fire protect. Now, explosions, you've got normal armor to protect you from it. I have no conclusive evidence that blast protection is very useful against explosions. However, I may have to run a secondary test for that. Here we've got fire. Only fire, besides protection, only fire protection enchantment is useful. In falling, feather falling is the only useful one. Arrows, well, everything's good against arrows. Projectile protection is probably extra useful, but I had tons of protection, so you wouldn't have noticed. Ender pearls only protection and feather falling work to reduce ender pearl damage. When fighting against mobs, pretty much everything's effective, and when you're suffocating, only protection will save you. And here we are, we're done with my conclusion.
Conclusion.
Yes. So, oh no, you can read it in your own time. It's basically everything I've just mentioned. So yeah, thanks for watching.
And see you next time on
Minecraft Science.
See you next time.
Goodbye.